Hey guys, Mossy here, and today I'm going to give you my review of Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. Now before we get started, I just want to say this review is on PlayStation 4, as that is what I played it on. I have heard the PC community is having problems with the game, but as this review is solely on my experience with the game, I'll not be taking that into account. Now, let's get into the review. Now to start this game off, I want to talk to you about Infinity Ward's take on the cliche Call of Duty on-rails campaign, and how they have completely removed that stereotype by letting you, the player, choose what mission you want and when you want it. In between missions, you'll be able to walk around the ship you pilot, Retribution, to see all your rewards and choose what missions you want to select depending on your success rate and distance to your current location. Now I love this, and we can see how COD are trying to let the players have a bit more choice in their actions. The different types of missions you'll encounter are either Jackal dogfights, which are basically awesome battles in space you'll see footage of later, stealthy approaches to take down a battleship from the inside, or all-out war, running around or floating around with your grappling hook to overpower the SDF and take control of their ship. Now, I'm not going to spoil the story for you all, but it's centered around the fact that Earth has almost run out of resources, so countries have decided to band together to form the SOTA, or the Solar Associated Treaty Organization, to go out to the stars to mine for new resources to sustain Earth. Now, it's sort of your average story with the bad guys, the SDF, the Settlement Defense Force, acting as almost pirates, trying to take this off-planet bases to help further themselves. They're led by Commander Salen Koch, played by none other than Jon Snow, Kit Harington, who is the complete opposite of this game's main protagonist, Nick Rise, who was after a traumatic incident was promoted to captain of the Retribution, who would do anything to protect his teammates and the lives of anyone and everyone on planet Earth. Now for the reason people play shooting games, the shooting. The action and mechanics of this game's campaign are very fast-paced and hectic, as Call of Duty have now introduced the element of gravity being either your best friend or worst enemy when it comes to a firefight. At first, it took a while to get used to gravity as a piece of weaponry in my arsenal, but once you master it, it doesn't take long, as all it makes and adds a different level to the average hallway shooters, which this game sets itself very far away from. Although this campaign did feel a bit short, as I finished it in roughly 6 hours, it is definitely a campaign I would come back to in a heartbeat when I'm craving what a Star Wars game should feel like. This campaign is the strongest Call of Duty has done since way back to Black Ops, which is a good direction for what Call of Duty should be following. Now into the reason people still play COD, the multiplayer. Infinite Warfare has taken the special assistance from Black Ops 3 and turned it into a better version, giving us rigs that we can hop into and change between during games, which is very useful. These new rigs do it sometimes feel awfully familiar to those in Black Ops 3, whether it be the one-shot pistol, giving you the ability to revert to a previous position or not taking any damage through a shield buff for a few seconds. Although these are minor negatives, overall the multiplayer is just as enjoyable and fast-paced as your average COD multiplayer. Infinite Warfare does add some new features, such as the gun rarity level, which gives your guns passive perks, and a salvage system to let the players earn these new variants without having to win them in a lucky dip supply drops. The guns themselves all feel very powerful and good to use, with no guns really feeling too much better than any other, meaning that even the most basic players will be able to have a fighting chance against their competitors. With the introduction of the classic gun section, giving the Call of Duty veterans that have been playing the games for years feelings of using these weapons in yesteryear in previous games in the series, such as Modern Warfare and World at War. Connectivity-wise, Infinite Warfare is great, as I've always been able to find matches in almost every category, and I've only had to migrate host once in the time I think I've been playing. There are a few new game modes, but the best addition so far is that of Frontline, which is what you're currently seeing, which is a team deathmatch of sorts that has players spawn in at certain locations and have a shield bonus while they're inside their spawn, helping them against campers. This is just a tiny example of how Infinity Ward have tried to make this the shooter for everyone. Again, another very strong part of the game done by Infinity Ward that is very well. Now, lastly, and my personal favourite part of the Call of Duty franchise, zombies. Infinity Ward has made the trifecta, as the zombies in Spaceland is as fun and as exciting as the multiplayer and campaign. With the removal of the really annoying Gubblegum machines from Black Ops 3 and the introduction of new fortune cards, which players earn through meleeing, killing zombies, and turning on powers and earning objectives, the new 80s characters, Poindexters being my favourite, which each have their own melee systems and quotes that they use it in different times, whether they be going down or killing zombies up close and personal. The new ATM systems, to make it easier for newer players to learn the ropes of being able to take and give money to their teammates by literally sharing their cash. The new dog rounds have been made scarier by being replaced with exploding clown zombies. Like, you can't get much scarier than that. Like, fucking clowns. And lastly, the sheer size of this new fun land to explore, whether you go to the Dodgem cars, the Icy Mountain, or the Retro Arcade. And the new Afterlife feature, which allows players to earn back their lives after death by playing these mini-games in this new arcade, such as target shooting or skee ball, to fill up their soul bar, to which then they can return to the Lost and Found booth at the start of the park to get all their weapons and perks back. Infinite Warfare Zombies has cemented itself into my top 5 favourite zombie maps easily, because of the sheer enjoyment I had with it. Overall, Infinite Warfare is the strongest addition to the Call of Duty franchise in quite a while, so I'm happy to give this game an 8 out of 10. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. We'll be posting some new vids soon, like our Battlefield 1 review that has been constantly getting delayed. Sorry about that, and our thoughts on Watch Dogs 2. Until then, I'm Mossy, and this has been Magnanimous.